It's told us in the first epistle of John, 4th chapter. We love because he first loved us. Because implies causation. Our love is response, only response. The cause is God loved me first. Now that apostolic we must now become a personal I. I love because God first loved me. Now imitate God as a dear child, as I'm told in the Ephesians. Start to love. I want a response to love, and I start loving the one I have responded. I expect it to come from there, and I don't initiate it. I will wait in vain. I'll wait forever, for I must imitate God as a dear child. Well, I am told, because I live, you will live also. Then what must be dead? I live, therefore you will live also. See the change in tense? Pygmalion and Galatea. She said, the creation of the great artist, Pygmalion. She's made of marble. And to whom does he pray to make her alive? He prays to the goddess of love. And asks the goddess to make her animal, that he could embrace her and find affection and find a companion in his creation. And love responds. And when love responds, Galatea utters the first word is to call her creator's name. And she calls out Pygmalion. Well, the first word I ever uttered and you ever uttered is to call our creator's name. Before I could say anything or see anything, though I couldn't utter the words, I had to be aware of being before I could become aware of being aware of something. I had first to be aware of being before I could be aware of anything. So although I couldn't use words, I was but a thought. You make it. No matter what, I became aware of my hand moving before my eyes. But I had to be aware of being first before I could be aware of a hand or whatever it was moving before my eyes. And so a little child is first aware of being before it becomes aware of anything in this world. So here the first word that the child is really uttering is the name of its creator. Because to be aware of being is saying in the depth of one being, I am. If I am, then I'm aware. And so I must first be before I can be aware of it. And so as Galatea became aware, she calls her creator's name, and she calls out Pygmalion. Here is simply an aspect of this eternal vision. So, if I must imitate God, and the initiative is with God, and I now love because God first loved me, for the imitating, I'm aware of being, and I want someone in my world to respond, to appreciate what I do, and to express that appreciation, well then I must start loving. I must start expecting that appreciation and go beyond it and hear it as though it were true. I must listen just as though I heard what I would hear were it true. Then comes the response, for the world is but an echo. The world is only a response of what you are doing. So when I am not loved, then I'm not imitating God as a dear child. I'm expecting it to originate there. It can't originate there. It has to originate in me. So the whole vast world is myself pushed out. And if God is loved, then I love Him because He first loved me. Now imitate Him. Well, then I see the whole vast world of beloved. Well, now I want the world to respond. In what kind? say my brother Victor, who has made a fortune in this world, a little tiny island called Barbados. You could put 4 Barbados in Los Angeles and still have room. And he's made a considerable fortune. And he's starting behind the 8 ball. And he said to me, Neville, nobody will believe me. Maybe you will. And they say, what is the secret of your success? They think because I have money, that I love money. I don't love money. Oh yes, I have it. I have millions. But I don't love money. I love the use of money. But if I told you what I consider my success, and the secret of my success, maybe you will believe it, maybe you won't. Others don't. Because being such a successful businessman, they're afraid of him. And they think he's hard. They think he's everything that he's not. And this is what he told me. And what do you think he said? That my secret is this: I love people. Now they're all afraid of me because I have money. I'm never too busy to see anyone. Regardless of thickness of their skin, they can survive to hear anyone coming in. If Churchill came, when Churchill was alive, and he came, he was sit in the same seat that my porter would come into. My porter was a seat in my bed. And I really love people. And so, he's done it all through community. By giving. He's always giving. Not thinking of himself, just simply giving. But he makes a fortune, and he can't stop it. It pours and pours and pours. And he does his secret is because I love people. Now, he doesn't know the Bible as you do. He certainly doesn't know it as I do. But innately, he knew that God is love. And I love because he first loved me. How he got that I don't know, but he just loves people. And people have to bring him all kinds of information that you can't find in any other way. He finds all kinds of deals because people love it, and yet they're afraid of it. Just as man, not knowing the unknown, is afraid of God, who is infinite love. If you ever saw the risen Christ, you wonder how God ever, in eternity, have ever been afraid of God. When there's not a thing in the risen Christ but infinite love. Nothing but love. And yet man fears this unseen. You can't see him until he calls you.